Good afternoon, everybody. And first of all, I would like to thank the host. I would like to thank Camille, he's gone somewhere, I don't know, Huda, Madam Huda, and Atif, and everybody who took part in this arrangement of a conference, which turned out to be really a piece of art. Great attention to details, and on top of that, friendly welcome from everybody. Thank you very much indeed. We're quite really enjoying this great conference. My subject today is old subject, but new. It will always be new. It is about the radical Islam ideology and why it should be excluded from the political scene. This is an old issue, but it will always remain new until the time comes and this dark cloud which is hanging over Egypt disappears from the skies of Egypt and from the sky of all nations. First, I would like to quote from the writings of Victor Davis Hanson in his article, The Traitors to the Enlightenment. He said, I quote, "The first Western Enlightenment of the Greek 5th century BC was the beginning of an attempt to bring to the human experience empiricism, self-criticism, irony, and tolerance in thinking." This is how the humanity progressed over the decades. The second European Enlightenment of the 18th century followed from the earlier spirit of the Renaissance. The Enlightenment nevertheless established the blueprint for a humane and ordered society. Now all this hard-won effort of some 2,500 years seems to be at risk because of the radical Islam. Now we can see that the radical Islam ideology has infiltrated Europe, and I live in UK, and I am telling you what I can see in happening in Europe. The pampered and frightened Western public is caving in to barbarism. Caving in comes under so many disguises and names. We now hear new words like Islamofascism, like Islamophobia, political correctness, etc. In Europe, you write a novel deemed critical to the Prophet Muhammad, as did Salman Rushdie, and you face years of ostracism and death threats in the heart of Europe, not less. Compose a film, as did Theo van Gogh, and find your throat cut in liberal Holland. Or better yet, sketch a cartoon in postmodern Denmark and then go into hiding. We know it right from the beginning, we the Christian minority in the Middle East who suffered resurgence of radical Islam in Egypt from the 70s onward till now. Recently, when Muhammad Ahmad Hijazi converted from Islam to Christianity, which is subject should be free to everybody. Anybody can change the religion anytime the way you like, or she likes. But when he converted to Islam, from Islam to Christianity in August this year, what happened? Muslim scholars openly asked for his execution. In TVs, in newspaper, it was openly incitement to ask people to kill him, and they were asking for his execution. And radical Islam, now we understand, is the greatest threat to personal safety and political freedom in the 21st century. Now, in spite of the continual attempt at polishing radical Islam by well-organized and well-financed organizations, and there are so many, but they all have the roots, of course, as we understand now, in the Muslim Brotherhood ideology. It is obvious that Muslim Brotherhood agenda, in spite of all rhetoric, has not moved an iota since the inception of this movement. Following the fall of the Ottoman Empire, Muslim Brotherhood was established in Egypt in 1928 by Hassan al-Banna in Ismailiyah, as we all know, to revive the idea of Khalifa. The principles of Muslim Brotherhood remains as per milestone book by Sayyid Qutb, and this book has established the basis for the radical Islamic ideology, and it has been followed by all Muslim fundamentalist groups all over the world. And it basically asks for the building of a Muslim individual, starting from the individual, to the Muslim family, to the Muslim society, to the Muslim state, to the Khalifa, and eventually mastering the whole world with their ideology. The motto of the Muslim Brotherhood, and I think most of us know it, remain: Allah is our objective, the Messenger is our leader, Quran is our law, Jihad is our way, Jihad is our way. Even till now, they still write that in the motto. And dying in the way of Allah is our highest hope, with the book of Quran and two swords in the emblem. As stated in the organization charter and on its website, Muslim Brotherhood seeks to install an Islamic empire ruled under Sharia law and a Khalifa across the Muslim world and ultimately the entire world, through stages designed to Islamize incrementally targeted nations. We can witness this very action taking place in Europe right now. The Muslim Brotherhood has succeeded in setting up numerous U.S. front groups in here. Since 1980s, that should be regarded as hostile, and since 1980s, be regarded as hostile and a threat to the United States, according to Stephen Coughlin, the lawyer and military intelligence specialist on the Pentagon Joint Staff. In September, just last month, in his memorandum, Coughlin explained that many U.S. Muslims aid and the civil rights groups viewed as moderate by Justice Department and other government agencies are linked to pro-jihadi Muslim Brotherhood. The group are also engaged in influence and deception operation designed to mask their activity and overriding goal of their organization, that being the advancement of Islamofascism doctrine within the United States. All is done by deception. In Ikhwan in America plan, which is a document which was found by the FBI, in the position of Muslim Brotherhood members. A document written by Muslim Brother in America and is made of 20 points, and it says the process of settlement is a civilization jihadist process. The Ikhwan must understand that their work in America is a kind of great jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands and the hands of the believers, so that it is eliminated and God's religion is made victorious over all other religions. In a TV interview I took part in a couple of months ago with Sameh Fawzi and Assam Al-Aryan. And when I asked Assam Al-Aryan, who is defined as a senior leader in the Muslim Brotherhood, they always say he is قيادي في جماعة الإخوان المسلمين, and therefore he should be designated as a master of deception as well by trade. I asked him the questions: is Muslim Brotherhood going to apply Sharia if they seize power? They apply Sharia on Christians. And I asked him, is jihad is part of the manifesto of the Brotherhood as per the motto? Are Christians equal citizens or dhimmi? I was asking Assam Al-Aryan. It was all on air. And the Samh asked him what he thinks of the Mufti of the Muslim Brotherhood, Sheikh Abdullah Al-Khatib, fatwa when Sheikh Abdullah Al-Khatib said openly in Al-Da'wah magazine that Christians should be expelled from the army, and the churches which were built in cities and towns which were opened or taken by fight, like Alexandria, for example, should be demolished. I asked more questions. Are we equal in rights to leadership positions? What is called Islamic jurisprudence, wilayat, say about the Christian being in a high position? I asked him if Christian mothers are allowed to have the custody of their minority children when the father converts to Islam, and are Muslim under Muslim Brotherhood allowed to have freedom to convert to Christianity, and in accordance with Article 18 of the International Declaration of Human Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and other international covenants. Mr. Assam Al-Aryan gave us a narrative of about 20 or 25 minutes, but of course, he did not answer any of these questions. He was just going on and on about rhetoric and speech-like talk without being able to answer especially the question about freedom in belief and the question of custody of the children. Now, we all got to understand, and I hope that the West start to understand, and the free world start to understand that as well. It is the right time to intensify our effort to expose the real dark side of the radical Islam agenda to take over the whole world. Baroness Cox in United Kingdom is a very close friend and ally to the Copts, and she in the past raised so many questions in the House of Lords about the Coptic problems. She said in her article when she wrote in the first magazine of the United Copts issue, she said to us that your experience should therefore be invaluable in helping us all to understand and to withstand the radical Islam. We are in privileged position because we have inside idea and inside information about the way the radical Islamists think and behave. And we should really do our best to expose this dark ideology. Radical Islam is no longer a Coptic concern, but it is a global concern. There should be no democracy for the enemies of democracy. We should not allow the radical Islam to take democracy and use it, as one of their leaders said before, like as a slipper to reach the government, and then it will never be used anymore. Barbarism, to use the slipper, as they say it, of democracy to make the barbarism reach to power. I go further and say there should be no freedom to the enemies of freedom. Anybody who is propagating hate and Islamic ideology, radical Islamic ideology, in any way or form should be fought, should be really sentenced and should be behind bars. It is time now for the free world to see the imminent power of darkness and the real danger of radical Islam, which is much nearer than ever. It is our duty, having experienced radical Islam firsthand, to warn and explain, and I wish you all success in our honorable endeavor, and thank you very much.